I want to take a moment to tell you about one of my sponsors. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Yes, I even use it. So let me explain more. Anchor is free. Yes, completely free. Why are you paying for a podcast host when you don't have to? Anchor makes it easy to migrate your podcast from your existing host that you're paying monthly or yearly for. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You also have the option to upload your own mixed and produced episodes. And it seriously is that easy to upload and edit from your mobile device. I do it all the time. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So whether you've already established yourself or you're just starting out, it's seriously everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So here's what you need to do. Download the free Anchor app to get started or go to anchor.fm, ANCHOR.FM. Hello. We are back with another week of the 99% Local Podcast. I'd love to hear from you guys, the listeners. What are you enjoying? What are you not enjoying? Maybe you have a story to tell and would be a great guest for a future episode. Drop me a line at 99percentlocalpod@gmail.com. As always, visit the website at 99percentlocalpod.com to catch on all past episodes. My guest on this week's show is someone I'd really consider a new friend and a woman who's out there killing it, or I should say cooking it. Carla Peluso, or I should say Chef Carla Peluso, is a personal chef specializing in private instruction, group lessons, catering, and confections. She's also a mom of 4 boys who keep her going and on her toes. 2020 is looking to be an awesome year for Carla and with what she's doing with her business, Chef Class with Carla. Carla's specialties are catering, classes, and celebrations. Whether it's a business mixer or holiday party, Carla is creating a wide variety of dishes for a menu that comes to your location in the greater Nashville area. Carla also serves up custom bakery, cake, and cookie orders for client appreciation events, anniversaries, and birthdays. In my opinion, the coolest part of what she's doing is providing one-on-one instruction based on skills desired or a dish to be created, and providing creative and unique experiences for couples, ladies' night out, family or business team building. And I should mention classes for both adults and children. Before we get into our discussion, I'd highly encourage you to take note of her website. It's chefclasswithcarla.com and her Instagram, which is at chefclasswithcarla. You'll quickly get addicted to her tips and tricks videos that she regularly posts. And once next Thanksgiving rolls around, yes, it's a ways away, but you're definitely going to want to order some of her homemade pies. One other thing to mention is that in conjunction with the Mayor's Challenge for a Healthier Spring Hill in Spring Hill, Tennessee, Carla is collaborating with local nutrition coaches and personal trainers to bring healthier options and ideas for the new year. Again, you can check all that out on her Instagram. With that said, let's get right to it. Here's my conversation with Chef Carla Peluso from Chef Class with Carla. If I was going to ask you to describe your profession in one sentence, could you do it?
Yes, but it would be like a run-on sentence.
Okay.
I am a personal chef specializing in private lessons, group classes, catering, and confections.
Okay. That's pretty general.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Okay, so were you born and raised here in Middle Tennessee?
No, I actually am from Maryland.
Maryland, okay.
Right near D.C., and my brother came out here, moved to Franklin in the mid-90s for Christian music.
Mm-hmm.
He was a road rep, and he's quite a bit older than me, so
okay.
My parents and I would come and visit, and I just really loved it here. And so in 99, I moved here.
What were you doing at that time? Were you still doing what you're doing now, or?
No, I actually I discovered my love and talent for culinary arts kind of later on in life. I actually wanted to be a writer, wanted to be a journalist. So that's what I went to college for. But, and then I did finance. I've done kind of a little bit of everything. But when I started having children, it kind of shifted. And I started realizing, at 2 a.m. I'm up with a newborn and I'm watching the Food Network, which was kind of a new thing back then. And I was like, I think I can do this. And so I kind of started playing around and I realized I had a knack for it, but I didn't really know what to do with that.
Okay.
And so actually in this very space, there was a restaurant, a chef-owned restaurant about 12 years ago. And I came in and was like, I want to learn. And so the chef kind of took me under his wing and showed me some things and taught me some things. And one of the things I learned was I don't want to own a restaurant right now because with small kids, it's like, I love that lifestyle of being up till 2 a.m. And, when I was younger, I could do that all the time.
Right.
But when you have small kids, it's like you can't function properly the next day.
Yeah.
So maybe someday, but for right now, I feel like I have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, so. I feel like there'd be a lot of pressure if you actually own the restaurant and cooking all the food, and I couldn't imagine.
Married to it.
Yeah. Did you end up going to like culinary school, or so tell me about that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I am self-taught. I would say it was more of like an apprenticeship than self-teaching. I have taken courses here or there, and I'm a lifelong student. Like I want to get out there and do things. I don't want to be the person that stays in school my whole life, but I think that especially if you're a teacher, I think you should also be a very good student. So I love to find institutions, people that I can learn things from. Food is just endless in what you can learn. And I'm always looking for opportunities to learn.
Okay. So what other ways did you, learn? You said you started learning from a chef that was here. So what other kind of things?
I would say really anybody that would teach me anything. So, I have a friend who has a business, and she's actually teaching me things this year.
Yeah.
She has a business. She has autoimmune disease, and she has to kind of approach food very differently than I would. Yeah. And she has her own meal service business in town. And I have learned a lot from her about how she approaches food, her business, how she runs her business. She's amazing. And I love to surround myself with people like that.
Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit more about what you're actually doing with your company, Chef Class with Carla. Mm-hmm. So just a couple other questions I have. So just talk about the types of foods you like to make, as far as, because it seems like you're all over the board, if not anything specific.
Yes, it's very much my personality.
Yes.
People ask me all the time, what's your favorite dish to make?
Yeah.
And I am Italian. My last name's Peluso, so I will always have a place in my heart for pasta, lasagna, all that stuff. But honestly, in every aspect of my life, I want to encourage and inspire people, and I want to give them the tools to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish. So this just happens to be in the kitchen. So whatever my client wants to make or wants to learn, that's what I want to focus on. And I love it. I love a challenge. I love when they come at me with something I haven't done much of, and then I have to go back in the kitchen and play and experiment so that I can give them a good product when they take my classes or when I'm presenting it to them. And I really that's what fills me up.
We're going to get kind of nerdy with cooking here, but so what's like your favorite ingredient to work with?
Oh, wow. That's a really challenging question. Right now, I guess I could talk about so many things, but being that it's holiday season, I'm doing a ton of baking.
Okay.
So, not only do I do cakes and cupcakes for birthday parties and baby showers, but, pies and all that. And I really love playing with different types of flours. There are so many different kinds of flours. And so I just did a video last week on the difference between cake flour and all-purpose flour, and I totally nerd out on that stuff, just knowing the protein content and what it does to food. And I actually had a class 2 years ago that was called Baking with Science, and it was a whole curriculum based, and we would do experiments. We would do the recipe with all-purpose flour and then all cake flour, and then we would compare and contrast, and it was so much fun to just see what you kind of come up with. So
yeah. Well, cool. This is kind of general, but so if there was anyone that you'd want to cook for or make something for, who would it be?
Oh man,
have you ever thought of that?
No, I haven't. Like, what would this be? Somebody famous or just
whatever?
Anybody?
Yeah, maybe someone you look up to as a chef or.
I see. Yes. Ina Garden does Barefoot Contessa, and she is one of my absolute idols.
Okay.
In the kitchen, and I just think everything she does is it's simple, but it's elegant, and it's flavorful, and that's very much my style and speed. And so I would love, and plus she just seems like a lot of fun to hang out with. Like, I would just want to hang out with her.
Well, cool. So being a woman chef, are there advantages, disadvantages you see?
Oh man. I think yes. In any profession, I think that's a challenge, but I think it's all in the way you approach it. I have moments where I want to be insecure, or I have hang-ups when I encounter certain people and they're maybe aggressive or difficult personalities. But, I just believe in staying in your lane and following your passion. And, if people want to come alongside you, that's fantastic. And if they don't, that's okay. Yeah. They're not your people.
Yeah.
So I kind of just try to focus on who I am and not the fact that I'm female or male. It's just, this is what I love. This is what I do. It's not going to look like everybody else. And that's okay.
Yeah. Well, cool. So let's just get right into what you're doing with Chef Class with Carla. Just, I know you're doing instruction, group lessons, a little bit of everything. So
a little bit of everything. Yep. That's right. Yeah, I love private lessons. I do them for, kids all the way up to adults, and I do them in their home kitchen or mine.
Okay.
And then I also do group classes. So if, a family or a group of friends wants to do whatever, cookie class, pasta class. I've also done like corporate events. So for their Christmas party, we would all, make a meal together. And I can do that also anywhere. And I have a couple commercial kitchens that I can use for a bigger space. And then I do catering. So usually, lately it's been business mixers in Nashville. And also for families, I've done anniversary parties, really just whatever the need of my client is. I try to meet that. Yeah. And then my confections, I would say my bakery orders, so cookies and cakes and scones, and I've also done some meal orders. I'm actually delivering 2 lasagnas today. So remember, I'm Italian, so I make a mean lasagna.
That's something to remember if we need someone asks if they need some Italian food. So, you post all the time these group lessons that you're doing with kids specifically, but you said you do adults as well, but it seems like it's mainly with kids.
It is. It's kind of been, I feel like as adults, a lot of adults contact me and say, I want to learn more in the kitchen. I want to get more comfortable. But, just like in everything else, we put our kids first. And so my kid classes fill right up because parents make sure that their kids get to things that they're passionate about. But sometimes we don't do that for ourselves. Yeah. So I have a harder time filling up those classes for adults. So and kids are great. I mean, they laugh at my jokes more. They come up with off the wall ideas. They're just so free. I really enjoy.
Yeah, you must be very patient with them because I try to cook with my 3 kids and it's just very stressful.
I think when you're related to them, it's different. Yeah. Like I get in a completely different mindset. Yeah. And also it's like in the morning when you're trying to make dinner at 5:00 at night and you're trying to teach something, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I just want to eat. I just want to get this done. But I'm teaching them at 10 or 12 in the day. Okay. And I kind of get myself in a different headspace, and I'm all about making mistakes. I'm like, let's make lots of mistakes. This is how we learn. And I want to make them comfortable. And but it is a little different. My kids have gone, I made them go through my class. They have their own cookbook and everything. They make dinner, but it is a little different.
Yeah. Probably a lot of messes, but
oh my
I'm sure you don't
yes.
care because it's what you do.
Yeah.
So
it's part of the job.
Yeah. The typical protein bar is dense, gritty, and difficult to chew, and let me be honest, it tastes like chalk most of the time. Not Built Bar. The texture is light and fluffy, and it is covered in perfectly tempered exotic chocolate. That's why Built Bar is the #1 rated protein bar in both texture and taste. With each bite you take, you will think you are cheating on your healthy eating or diet, indulging on a chocolate dessert. There isn't a more delicious way to get your protein. Built Bars are gluten-free, contain no artificial flavoring or coloring, no artificial preservatives, no GMO, no wax, no junk. My wife and I ordered our first box back a few months ago and now can't turn away from them. Besides the amazing taste with only 110 calories and packed with 15 grams of protein, it will definitely satisfy your cravings or sweet tooth. Listen to some of these flavors: coconut almond, peanut butter, orange chocolate cream, banana chocolate cream, that's my wife's favorite, mint brownie delight, and more. Right now, if you go to 99percentlocalpod.com/builtbar, you can purchase a 6-bar bestsellers box for only $9.95. That way, you can figure out which is your favorite for your next order. If you want to skip the bestsellers box and put together your own combination of flavors, I'll also give you 10% off your first order. Again, all you need to do is head to 99percentlocalpod.com/builtbar. That's BUILTBAR. So I think I saw you teach classes at West Harpeth Christian Tutorial as well. Can you talk about that and how you got connected to doing that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is my 6th year homeschooling my older 2 boys. And about, I think it was like 4 years ago, we started getting into tutorials. There's so many around here. Yeah. And one of the things that just kind of popped into my head is I was like, man, I would love to teach at one of those. I wonder if they would want a culinary arts program.
So the tutorial, that's kind of like a co-op for homeschool, or?
It is.
Okay.
So it's similar in the fact usually a co-op for homeschool is parent-led.
Okay.
And it's less money and all of the parents teach. So it keeps the cost down.
Okay.
But then a tutorial is typically like teachers that hold those degrees. So it's maybe a little bit more money.
Yeah.
But the curriculum's typically a little harder and it's more structured. So I was really looking for a tutorial, and my boys started going to West Harpeth. This is their 3rd year. So my oldest, this is 1st year. And I just sort of approached the director and asked if it would be an interest. And several of the board members got really excited about it, and they're a really good group of people. And this is my 2nd year there, and it's awesome. It's really wonderful.
Cool. So what kind of courses are you teaching there?
I try to incorporate baking and cooking.
Okay.
And I just have a 1-year course there, although I have thought about doing like more advanced, maybe next year or the year after. But I try to kind of pepper through the year. Like we just finished our Thanksgiving prep. So, I wanted them to learn how to make mashed potatoes and green bean casserole and sweet potato casserole so that they can help make those things this holiday and, get some ownership in the holiday table. So, but I also try to do baking in there too, because, listen, the parents want me to teach them how to make tacos for sure. Yeah. But the kids are like, teach me how to make cookies. So I have to kind of do a little bit of both to make everybody happy.
Yeah. So you're teaching other stuff too, not just the cooking, like just the skills to be in the kitchen too, like knife handling, things like that, right?
Yes, we do a lot of knife skills, especially in that class. I try to only do that. I need a child to be 9 or older just to have the dexterity and the maturity to handle a knife, because I'm handing them a huge chef knife. And they can handle it, but I want to make sure that they're being safe. So, we do a lot of knife skills. Yeah. So, you talked about catering. Like, what kind of, do you cater all kinds of events? Or is it just smaller events, smaller occasions? Or It's been, I've only done up to about 80 people.
Okay.
And it's typically, a lot of times business mixers, they're looking for, small starters, appetizers, some desserts, things like that. And honestly, I have like this thing about tiny food. Mm-hmm. Every once in a while I'll post about the tiny kitchen videos. I'm like obsessed with them. So it kind of like scratches that itch for me because I have like little plates and little teeny forks and I absolutely love it. And I just did one, I think it was last week for Bunker Labs in Nashville, which is a great organization for veteran entrepreneurs. And I have done some like 3-course meals, but I've only gone up to about 25 people. But I'm actually, again, I have a contact right now, really good. She's becoming a great friend. And she's done catering for like 35 years for like 800 people weddings. I'm always looking for people to learn from.
Yeah.
Because I want to get there. Yeah.
What would you say is one of the most coolest opportunities you've had or events that you've had a chance to be a part of?
I would say, wow. It kind of goes both ways. Like the Bunker Labs that I just talked about, that has been really, really fun just because it's a new venue every time. It keeps me on my toes, but everybody's amazing there. And I love seeing what's happening and being able to be a part of that. But I also really love the more intimate, like, I am participating in someone's 85th birthday or, their baby shower. I just, getting ready to do a post. I can't wait. I'm freaking out about it. I have a friend that, she was waiting to have this baby for so long and she had him and he's a year old and I got to make the smash cake.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I know. Yeah. It's the cutest. So just to be able, it means a lot to me to be able to participate in celebrations with people. It's very special, and it's an honor. Yeah.
So we live in an area where there's a lot of, higher profile people. Have you ever done any events or cooking for, I don't mean to start name dropping people, but...
You know what? I haven't.
Okay.
I would love to.
Yes.
I would love to. If anybody's got a contact, send them my way.
Yeah. So I was looking through your Instagram, I was like, I wonder who, because that's what I do, I stalk the people I have on my show first, and I wonder who actually follows her. So, do you know Curtis Rempel? He was actually on my show. He does the handcrafted wood and leather goods. He's in High Valley.
Yes. I didn't know him. I saw him I was listening to your podcast and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Yeah. But no, I don't personally know him. Okay.
Because he actually follows you on Instagram, so he must be looking into what you're doing. So
very cool.
And then Mike Wolf actually follows you too from American Pickers. So do you know him or just know of him?
I don't. I follow a lot of what he does. I've watched his show for many years, and I really loved the space that he created downtown Columbia. And so I started following that, just like the whole designing process. It's gorgeous, and I think it was maybe a month or two ago, somebody posted a picture of the kitchen, and I was like, oh, I'd like to cook in that kitchen.
Nice.
And with that comment, we kind of connected on Instagram. So,
Well, awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to get him on the podcast, actually. So,
that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I've been down in Columbia to see what he's doing because they have a building there. They put up a big sign in Columbia.
Yes.
So that's cool.
I can't help you on that.
No. So do you watch a lot of YouTube videos on like cooking and things, and there's a lot out there. A lot of them are kind of ridiculous, but other ones are pretty good.
I do.
Yeah.
I love those. Right now, I'm doing a lot of cookie decorating videos because I make cookies and I do decorate them, but I want to up my game on the decorating a little bit. And the design. And so it's just, there's so many tools. If you have the right tools in anything, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. So there's this chef, I can't remember her name. You're going to probably know it, but she remakes candy, or she tries to. I can't remember her name.
That sounds like something one of my My sons love shows like that.
Yeah, she's with the company. I can't remember her name. We watch it all the time. She'll take like a type of candy bar, or she did Skittles, and she'll try to make it from scratch, her own version of it. So it's a pretty cool show.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty cool. She'll go and do the research like, okay, how do they actually make it? Let's try to imitate this and use the tools we have to make them. Yeah, it's cool. She's remade like Cheez-Its and like Kit Kat bars, and it's really cool. I'll have to figure out the name of it and let you know. So
yes, I would love that.
So, yeah. Back to the classes and things. I saw you do some stuff at Spring Hill Library as well. Is that something you do regularly, or?
It has been this year.
Yeah.
I've been talking to Marcia. She's the program director there for years about doing something kind of on the regular. And this year we kind of reconnected, and we've done some kid classes. We did an adult lunch and learn this month. And yeah, the response again for the kids classes is like massive. So that is really fun. It's kind of restrictive as far as like there's no oven there. There's really no way for me to do a lot of cooking. But again, I like a culinary challenge, so it kind of puts me out of my box and it makes me kind of stretch a little bit. So, and I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Cool. So when this actually comes out, it's going to be 2020 January. So like, what do you have planned for 2020? Anything new, or just continue building upon what you're doing now?
Oh, I have several opportunities kind of coming at me right now, and I'm trying to sift through which ones I should do. We only have so much time and energy, and then we have to figure out what we actually love, but actually what pays the water bill. So, it's tricky to figure that out, but I think I'm going to kind of continue on with what I'm doing. I would love at some point, my huge dream is to have more of a brick and mortar, and not only have classes, but also have like pop-up eatery / bakery. Yeah. I adore supporting other local chefs. My boys and I go to First Fridays in Columbia, and we get something from every single food truck because I want to try every single thing. Yeah. And I think it's amazing. I'm always wanting to support what chefs are doing in the area. So I would love to have just, a pop-up bakery eatery that can be utilized by many companies and businesses. And I would love to, have a meal service business and just everything out of that hub. Yeah. And catering, the whole nine. So
you mentioned the First Fridays. We go down there a lot too in Columbia. But so where are like your favorite places to eat?
In Columbia?
Or anywhere in Nashville area. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There are so very many. I think in this area, love Salty Goat. Yeah. Martin's Barbecue is good. My boys and I love to go to Highway 55 all the time. That's a really good burger place. And then I would say, in the larger area, I used to work at J. Alexander's in Cool Springs. Love J. Alexander's. I mean, the consistency and quality it's just amazing. And as far as like downtown, I'm going to keep talking about tacos, but I'm a sucker for bar taco. I'm like, sometimes I just, dream about that place at night. I'm like, I just want to eat those tacos.
So when you go to a restaurant or something, are you kind of picky about how the food's presented to you?
It's funny. Of course, I think we eat with our eyes first, so it is important that it looks good. Yeah. But it kind of depends on the mood I'm in or where I'm at. I love a good street taco, but I also love to go get, a filet and do something a little more high end. So I love it all. I mean, pizza. Here we're sitting in, a pizza place. Yep. I love it all. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing for a living?
I love writing.
Writing.
Yes. Okay. I went to school for journalism, and then I got there and I was like, I don't like journalism. I don't want anybody to tell me what I can write about. Like, I want to write about it, whatever. And so I've written a few screenplays and a graphic novel. And I absolutely adore that. I've been writing since and had this imagination before I even knew really what creative writing was.
Yeah.
So probably that. And I've also, I've done finance for tons of years, so I might even do something like that. I kind of have this...
I wouldn't do finance.
You wouldn't do finance? No. Well, it's funny. My dad is like the king nerd, and then my mom is sort of a whimsical type B personality, so I have a little bit of both in there. And so, kind of have polar opposites. But being a chef kind of brings both those worlds together for me, so...
Yeah, so have you thought about doing like a food blog, like with your writing, or have you already done that?
Well, I kind of started doing that, but I noticed that the videos were doing so much better, and frankly, they're a lot easier.
Okay, yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna go with what's easier and what I enjoy more. I love writing, but I really do enjoy the videos.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So when you're not catering, teaching classes, cooking, what are you doing?
Let's see. I have 4 boys, so I'm hanging out with them. We have a lot of fun together. We do a lot of cooking together, but we also we like to go hiking. We love movies, and they keep me really busy. And I love to write, and I love to be in nature. So, being near water, kayaking, walking, it restores me to kind of be around water and trees and grass.
Yeah. No, it's one thing we loved about moving here is just the places to go hiking, like, and especially the waterfalls and things too, in Columbia and Franklin areas. So, yeah. Well, cool. So if someone wants to find out about what you're doing or get a hold of you for cooking something or a catering event, how could they do that?
So right now, really the best way is through social media. So Facebook, Instagram. I have a website and I am updating it, so it's a little bit easier for them.
Yeah.
I'm kind of... Hopefully by the new year, that will be good to go.
I noticed that because I always go on to get info about what you're doing, and then I checked and I'm like, oh, she's working on a new website. So
that's right. Yes, my niece is Carla Peluso. She's awesome.
Yeah.
You can look her up on Instagram. She's at Lipscomb, and this is what she wants to do for a living. So she's helping me, and she's doing an amazing job.
Cool.
And so she designed it in the summer for my classes. But, there's kind of just took like a huge shift.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, we got to rethink this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.